Hi, welcome back. We're still talking about you, the most important person in the entire sales process. And in this section, we're going to quickly run through learning styles, how you take information in, synthesize it, and create value from it. It's vitally important to your success that you know how exactly you operate best. We all watch team sports such as football, rugby, baseball, American football, etc. And whether we are avid fans or not, everyone recognises that each person on the team has their particular place, their particular job. The manager of the team can't walk onto the pitch and play as a striker, or in baseball he can't walk on and suddenly claim he's the pitcher. We all have our positions where we shine and other positions where we might struggle a bit. Now, in order to succeed, you really need to be honest about where and how you work best, particularly when it comes to learning styles and how you handle information. One of the key tasks in sales is getting the information you need to construct a pitch, understand your customer's needs, and get across the details and important parts of your product portfolio. How you take this information in and retain it best is really worth knowing. Are you a reader or a listener when it comes to performing best as a salesperson? A listener takes in information most efficiently during conversations. They remember what they hear, and they may or may not take notes. Even if you do take notes, you may be a bit like, say, Beethoven, who, although he made huge amounts of musical sketches all the way through his life, he never once referred back to them again once he'd made them. Readers take in information from documentation, spreadsheets, diagrams, written presentations. They are much more comfortable getting a presentation to the post, for instance, and studying it than actually sitting through it. Although you may find it possible to do both, one channel will feel way more comfortable to you than the other, so just give that some thought. Once you know how you take information in most easily, you should ask yourself how best you learn and synthesize that information into the knowledge that you then need to create value for your customer. There are many ways to do this. As mentioned above, some people take notes, they write structured or unstructured pages to cement raw facts into understanding and the basis for their sales proposal. Mind maps are also hugely popular and very, very useful ways of sense making from the massive amounts of data and information that you need to take in as a salesperson. I know salespeople who need to talk it through with their team or their colleague or even their dog. The process of vocalizing it once they've taken it in allows them to make sense from it. And another senior manager I worked with always had to construct matrices of various types. He'd create a matrix of business unit against income or products against territory, as many as 6 or 7 different matrices that all cross-referenced each other, in order to make sure that he got all the key facts into his head, and then he understood what the customer's business was like and how it functioned. Another really useful way to characterize learning styles is from Marcus Buckingham's work, published in the Harvard Business Review. He splits learners into 3 types. Firstly, analysers. They take the problem, the process, or the issue apart and examine it in detail, bit by bit. They prepare ahead, they don't improvise on the spot, and so they're a bit like the readers that we talked about before. The mechanics, if you like, they have to take everything apart. Secondly, there are doers. They learn by taking action. They'll pick up a task, problem or project as they go along, and they don't value much preparation. And finally, watchers. They learn by imitation. They need to see the bigger picture, the task in its context as it happens, not as described or as they are in the midst of doing it. They're in their element when they get to shadow people and see how it's done. So there you have it, a quick run through the various sorts of learning styles. There are readers and there are listeners. That's how information is best coming into the salesperson. And then once you've got that information, how you deal with it and make sense of it, there are analysers, the people who like to take it apart. There are doers, people who like to just get involved and make it up as they go along effectively. And then finally watchers, who sort of stand back and see how the experts do it and learn from that. It's really worthwhile now if you take 5 or 6 minutes and just think to yourself, how best do you like to handle information? Because that's how you're going to be the most effective salesperson that you can be.